Greetings, citizens of the world. An absolutely stunning new Foreign Intelligence Service (SVR) report circulating in the Kremlin today states that the White House was given a one-week warning about the CIA's planned false flag massacre in Las Vegas when one of its blotters surrendered in Washington, D.C. on Sunday, 24th of September, exactly 1 week before this attack occurred on 1 October. And with this known CIA gun runner being given a deep cover excuse for his arrest alleging mental illness, and his quickly being placed under the protection of U.S. military forces at the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center. According to this report, at approximately 7 o'clock -4 GMT, local time, on Sunday, 24th of September, an American citizen named Timothy J. Bates presented himself at the White House Southwest Appointment Gate where he informed uniformed officers of the Secret Service that he needed to talk to U.S. Navy Admiral Mike Rogers, director of the National Security Agency, about a planned CIA false flag operation being planned for later that day on innocent concert-goers attending the Life is Beautiful 2017 concert in Las Vegas, that then, in turn, would be blamed on white supremacists with subsequent investigations proving that known CIA gunrunner Stephen Paddock had, indeed, been planning to attack this concert. In detailing this CIA false flag operation to U.S. military forces loyal to President Trump, this report continues. Timothy Bates described how he was recruited by Stephen Paddock, in 2000, to be one of his gun runners, and whose CIA deep cover was established as his being a police officer for the city of Memphis, Tennessee, with Bates further noting that he worked with another of Paddock's gun runners named Scott Edmison, also from Tennessee, and whom the SVR reported this past week was Paddock's highly skilled machinist used to remove serial numbers from weapons, and who was captured along with his arsenal on 2nd of October in Washington County, Tennessee. Like Scott Edmison, too, this report details, Timothy Bates had an arsenal of 20 weapons in the boot of his vehicle, including AK-47 style rifles and weapons with sound suppressors, and with his deep cover arrest story being that he was seeking payment of $28.7 million for his having participated in the CIA's Project MKUltra program, and that had placed a microchip in his head that was causing him severe headaches, shaking and convulsions, and his then being placed in the custody of the U.S. military for mental evaluation. Important to note, this report explains, is that both Timothy Bates and Scott Edmison were Stephen Paddock's illegal gun smugglers to the Russia Mafia, who are presently embroiled in a continuing war with the Dixie Mafia for control of the CIA's major drug smuggling routes from Mexico to the southeastern regions of the United States, all of whom, though, were catastrophically shattered when FBI forces loyal to President Trump took down the top Russia Mafia leader in the United States, named Razdan Shalia, whom the Obama regime had been protecting for nearly a decade, and whose 7th of June capture in Las Vegas was the ignition point for the Pyramid Sacrifice Massacre. Though the CIA's 24th of September false flag massacre on the Life is Beautiful 2017 in Las Vegas was able to be averted, this report continues, too numerous to count. Dark web chatter among U.S. and British intelligence operatives clearly show that those U.S. military and FBI forces loyal to President Trump were outmatched by their deep state CIA adversaries, with the greatest fear being that a nuclear weapon device was in play and that President Trump's top aide, U.S. Marine Lieutenant General John Kelly, who was leading the counterstrike against these CIA terrorists, had, also, been compromised after it was discovered that his phone was tapped. The Western mainstream fake news propaganda media, also, this report continues to be in lockstep with their CIA master overlords in keeping from the American the truth about this Pyramid Sacrifice Massacre, and that includes CBS News citing anonymous sources that Stephen Paddock's girlfriend, Mara Lou Danley, was concerned about his mental stability. NBC News citing anonymous sources saying Stephen Paddock's girlfriend said that he would lie in bed, just moaning and screaming, "Oh my God." ABC News citing anonymous sources claiming that Stephen Paddock had a severe undiagnosed mental illness. The Sun citing an anonymous prostitute claiming that Stephen Paddock was obsessive and paranoid and would rant about conspiracy theories, including claiming 9/11 was an inside job by the U.S. government, and CNN News, basically, stating that Stephen Paddock was unknowable and no one would ever know what happened. Standing against these fake news mainstream media propagandists and the CIA's narrative fixing of this massacre using anonymous sources, however, this report notes, is an actual real live person named Lisa Crawford, who worked as a property manager in Texas for Stephen Paddock from 2006 to 2012 and knew him better than nearly everyone else, and who described Paddock as a laid-back goofball who was cool to be with and always made everyone laugh, and who, also, didn't have a serious bone in his body. To the Stephen Paddock described by his close associate Lisa Crawford, this report concludes, shows a person well versed in CIA deep cover operations knowing how to create and maintain